rewarded for acting that way. As you say, throwing that dolly through the window. I mean, that could have hurt someone. Thankfully, it didn't. Nothing too bad anyway. Michael Chiesa obviously had to withdraw from the fight, so that's a shame. I've heard from a third party that Michael Chiesa is definitely filing a lawsuit against him. So
if Michael
that's going to be
Chiesa
a tricky
is
one.
smart, he's going to sue Conor. He's going to sue the UFC. He's going to sue the
Barclays Center.
He's going to sue the maker of the dolly, whoever made that fucking dolly, the bus company. He's going to sue the Believe You Me podcast. He's going to sue the city of New York. He's going to sue fucking everybody that he could possibly sue if he has even one brain cell left in his fucking head, because that's the way it works. So let me tell you something, dude. Conor McGregor, believe me, he makes a lot of fucking money, dude. But what he should really be worried about is if somebody like Ray Borg just says, hey, dude, fuck it, I'm going to do the math, and saying I can never fight again is more valuable than the money that I'm going to make in my UFC career from suing him. You might just take that fucking paycheck. I know I would.
I'm just going to play devil's advocate here for a second, though, and just say, of course, Ray Borg had pulled out of his fight, and of course, I'm sure he is injured. But when you look on the embedded, he had a pair of glasses on. Now, call me stupid, but surely a pair of glasses would shield any glass from getting into your eye.
Dun, dun, dun.
Right? You look on the embedded, he's standing there. There's nothing wrong with him. He isn't taking his glasses off and going, oh, my God, my eyes, bro, my eyes. He's standing there going, oh, shit, that was actually pretty awesome with a big pair of fucking glasses on. So,
hey, dude, look, a lot of people think the earth is flat.
A lot of people are fucking morons. The earth is not flat, Lewis. Can we just get that right? Don't tell me you think the earth is flat.
No,
please.
I don't believe in any of these silly conspiracies, and I don't believe that Ray Borg faked an eye injury to get out of his fucking fight. No, not at all.
Neither do I. But I'm just saying, if I was on Team Conor, if I was on his legal team, I'd say, hold on a minute. He had a pair of fucking glasses on. Now, that said, microscopic pieces of glass could fall through the air and come in through the sides. So listen, I'm not making fun of it. I mean, it's a shame for Ray Borg. Rose Namajunas was very upset. She was going to, she was upset. She was crying. She contemplated pulling out the fight for a while. Fortunately, she did it. She had a fantastic performance against Jan Jacek. We'll get into that later. And then after the fight, after the incident, then they all ran away. They all ran into the shadows like the rats that they were, and then went on the run for a little while. Yeah, I mean, you just couldn't make this up. It's crazy.
Yeah, it really is. It's almost out of a movie, and the reality is, here's just the truth. The big winner in all of it is the UFC, because there's no such thing as bad press.
I'll tell you this right now.
He's not happy. He's not happy. It's not great, but let me tell you something. Conor will fight again in the UFC. There's no way they're fucking going to cut him. The amount of eyes that are on the sport right now, to be honest with you, I stopped really caring about UFC 223. It just sort of injected this energy around the event. Like it was so fucking weird and bizarre, the whole thing. But I ended up getting offered tickets to go from a buddy of mine, like last minute. And I was like, dude, fuck it. I'm going to go and watch Ally Quinta try to fucking beat Khabib. This is kind of like intriguing, the whole thing. But
so Dana said he was disgusted by it. He said it was by far the worst thing that's ever happened in the history of him being involved with the company or the UFC, full stop. Nothing like this has ever happened. It's disgusting. This is worse than anything. It's criminal. Okay? Blah, 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 blah. I'll tell you right now, if that was fucking Ray Borg that threw a dolly through that, if that was Rafael Dos Anjos that did that, give me another name. If it was fucking anyone else, they'd be gone. They would be so fucking done in the organization. Yeah. Okay? But no. The footage is on the embedded.
Oh, they're using it to promote, yeah. Of course.
Yeah, of course. And then because listen, if you're the UFC, now you have to do Khabib versus Conor, and that's all the countdown show will be. It will be Conor running in there, smashing the window, Khabib's reaction, all that type of stuff. So listen, at the end of the day, if I'm a businessman, if I own the UFC, is that how you want people to behave? No. But can you turn it into a positive? Of course you fucking can. And you're going to make a shit ton of money. I mean, that is going to be a massive pay-per-view, 100%. Khabib already has a huge following. Conor, of course, massive following. Them two fight after all that. Oof, forget about it. Well over 1.5 million buys.
Guaranteed. Ireland versus Russia. The international, huge, huge fight. It's also a fight that, Can Conor beat Khabib? Can he stop the takedown? Can he? It's an intriguing fight just in general. And I want to talk to you about your thoughts. Yeah, I want to get into that.
Yeah. Well, let's get into that, because if Conor was to fight him, I mean, listen, I like Khabib, and I'm far from a Conor nut hugger or dick rider or whatever you want to call it. But
what's
Joe
the British
Rogan
term?
put out a statement this morning apologizing for his comments during the commentary. He was kind of critical about Khabib's performance. Even still, Khabib truly dominated that fight. It was 50-44, 50-43 in some of the scorecards.
Yeah.
He clearly won every single round. Took him down in round 1, round 2. Now, rounds 3, 4, and 5, Iaquinta was able to stop the takedown. Now, in rounds 1 and 2, Khabib shot in for a low single leg, grabbed the lead leg of Iaquinta, picked him up and hung onto it, deer tied, just had it squeezing it. Now, normally what you do is you kick the leg out the way Iaquinta was trying to do. But because you're dry, because it's round 1, you got a nice tight vice grip, grabbed him, sweep the other leg, put him down. Iaquinta did a good job of trying to fight back to his feet, this and that, but, close but no cigar. But as the fight progressed, as Iaquinta was going in, as Khabib was going in and grabbing that leg of Al, you get sweatier. And that kick out that he was trying to do started becoming successful. And for the rest of the fight, really, he couldn't take him down. And then from there, Ali's the better striker, but he wasn't the effective striker, because I believe he was scared of getting taken down. I don't mean scared, pardon me. That's not the right word. He wasn't scared of getting taken down. He was overcautious because he was worried about getting taken down and then losing the fight. And I fought many people that I'm a better striker than, but I know these motherfuckers are just trying to take me down. As soon as I throw a punch or overextend, they're going to shoot in and take my legs. So that stops you throwing. It makes you kind of stand there. I know Al Iaquinta, if he watches that fight back this morning, he's going to sit there, he's going to watch it and say, Jesus Christ, why didn't I throw more? Well, the answer is simple, because when you were in there, the guy was trying to take you down constantly. Khabib on the other side, when he didn't get the takedown, was actually winning the stand-up. Nothing amazing. He was peppering his face with jabs. There wasn't much head movement. There wasn't many combinations, but still, he bust up his face pretty good.
Yeah. Well, Al had a weird moment where he sort of... Al had a weird moment where he sort of stood there and was like, come on, hit me. And then Khabib just gave him like 5 stiff jabs in a row that like really bloodied up his face. I might be mistaken. I hope I'm not. That's the first time I saw Al in that sort of stance. He came down a very strange stance, which obviously he was looking for the takedown. I don't think anybody saw Al Iaquinta being super competitive in this fight. And that's not a knock on Al.
I did. I actually thought he might win the fight. I actually thought, and no disrespect to Max Holloway, Al Iaquinta, after a full training camp, is a tougher fight for Khabib than what Max Holloway is on 6 days' notice. And, of course, I'm the biggest fan of Max Holloway. The guy's awesome. But still, he's a 145er, stepping up on 6 days' notice. You got to favor Khabib in that fight. Al Iaquinta is a guy that has, great wrestling background, good jiu-jitsu, trains with Chris Weidman, Matt Serra, all those guys. And he can bang. He can knock people out, And I thought, you never know. If he can stop the takedown, he might knock him out, because Khabib, we've seen him get hit. Anyway, listen, long story short, Khabib won the fucking fight. Congrats to Al for stepping up. I hope the UFC give him a nice big fat bonus. They should do. Generally, the UFC, Dana, in situations like that, they're very, very generous. Anytime I've done anything like that, they've always been there with a check afterwards or a nice bonus every time. And, I hear from other fighters all the time, they do. Listen, the UFC get a hard time. A lot of journalists like to write stories about them being cheap and this and that. If you go out there, you put on a good performance, or you do them a favor, you step up, they take care of you. So I'm pretty sure Al should get taken care of.
Yeah, and let me ask you this, just because watching the fight, I think my first initial reaction, and this was the reaction around a lot of people around me kind of talking about it, we're just talking about how good Al did in the fight on short notice, not preparing for a guy like Khabib, for him to be able to go the distance. And, not for nothing. I mean, look, he got his ass kicked in the fight, but the reality is it was a pretty gutsy performance. He didn't let himself get finished. He was in bad positions a lot during the fight. But it sort of made me believe, number one, that, Conor, I would give Conor a much better chance than initially I thought he would do against Khabib.
Me too.
Kind of watching the fact that, I think Conor's a superior athlete, and I think that, he's obviously a way better striker than Al, and Al was able to land. So I think Conor will be able to land. But then also that Tony Ferguson might have won that fight. I think it's a really weird matchup. And you kind of look at how good Al did. I started scratching my head going like, wait a minute, Khabib seems much more beatable than I initially thought going into the fight.
It's crazy because, for one, you're right. I totally agree with everything you said. But it's weird, isn't it? Because, going into that fight, prior to that fight, should I say, everybody thought Khabib would destroy everybody.